Shall we begin?
Yes, we can begin. So a small request today, since
Sure.
so we had a guest and then I had a little late lunch.
Uh-huh.
That is the only concern. That's it. Otherwise, I'm fine. Rekha's brother came. Rekha's
Nice.
brother's family and all of them, they came just to see her because today is Independence Day. They visited us, and
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that is the only concern. My food is not really digested. I just
Okay.
had,
You're
that is the only
feeling a bit.
concern.
All
A
right.
bit heavy, yes. Okay.
All right. We'll go
So,
on in after pace.
yeah.
Okay.
What is that?
We'll go in a softer pace, but not
Yes, yes.
losing integrity or the information required.
Okay. Then, so we need a bolster.
We need a bolster. You can keep a chair close by also. If you
Yes.
have a knee pad.
Yes, everything is there. I'll just bring them. Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
You can see me from there.
Clearly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's begin by lying on your back.
With the pillow and with,
Place a bolster underneath your knees, and you have a blanket with you.
yes.
So make a very tiny roll just to support the curve at the back of your neck.
Do you think this is more? It's fine.
I think that's a bit too thick for the neck, just the back of the neck. Roll it rather than making it flat. So like a broomstick.
Now
Yeah,
I'll leave
that's
that.
enough. Yes,
I'll leave
correct.
that back.
Yeah, that part you're leaving will go at the back where the occipital region is. Yeah. So the purpose, the main purpose of the embodied practice is to meet the body as it is or in its present state through the medium of vichara, which is inquiry, or through the medium of movement, because that is the inborn capacity of the mind and the body. Without making too much of adjustments or micromanaging the body to become this or the other, which also is a potential of the body. But our main understanding is what is the potential or purposes, what is the direct experience I am having now. And from that direct experience, if I add or minus any experience or information, how do I feel? Because here we are coming to a conclusion that we are bio-emotional beings. We're made out of various emotions rather than mechanisms. So in the beginning, Let us begin this class by knowing the environment in which the body is at present. So the only possible way we can know the environment that the body is in now is through our senses. Let us begin by listening to the space that we are in. And whilst listening to that space, how is my mind naturally reacting to listening? What is the temperature of my body? The temperature is, of course, going to vary, be different in various parts of our body. Although your eyes is closed, there is still a vision, a vague darkness with various spots of other colors. What is the taste in your tongue, in your mouth? And the smell, if there's any kind of smell, it could be even a neutral smell of the room. So that we are fully alert through our senses. We are not blocking the senses, or rather we are opening the senses to function in its own wisdom without using one sense more than the other, but rather allowing any of the sense to gather information and to assist in us sensing life happening at present. Now, from here, let's begin to sense the presence of your physical body by first sensing and feeling your legs, sensing and feeling. So you sense first, and because of the sense, you can feel. Now, the hips, sensing and feeling your spine, sensing and feeling the abdominal region, sensing and feeling your chest, sensing and feeling the shoulders, arms, sensing and feeling your fingers and your thumb, sensing and feeling your neck, and from your neck you move into your head. Sense the head and the feeling in the head. So we're not adding or we are not subtracting. We are scanning the body as it is. Now do a self-scan from your head down towards your feet, just to notice your inclination towards any particular part of your body, and which part of your body that you are naturally bypassing. And now let's move into the breath. Can you sense and feel the presence of your breath breathing? Now let's begin to introduce the who breaths by breathing in through your nose, spout your lips, and breathe out through your mouth. and how it is different here with the natural breaths, and the who breaths may differ when you breathe out through your mouth. What are the notes that you're getting from your body when you breathe in through the nose and out through your mouth? One more cycle. And from there, we move your toes and fingers. Bring your feet together and raise your arms above your head. So let's stretch the legs and the arms away from the midsection of the body and relax. Flex your knees. Roll to your preferred side, watchfully, coming to a seated position. And how you feel is very essential here. It's not about performing or demonstrating the skills, but rather every movement becomes a step closer to your inner existence. How does it feel to be seated after lying down? The palms in prayer position. We chant 3 rounds of the Pranava mantra Om together. Repeat after me. Vande Guru Ramana Rishi.
Vande Guru Ramana Rishi.
Acharyasya Padhabjam.
Acharyasya Padachyam.
Yo me darshayadisham.
Yo me darshanamisham.
Bhantam Dvantam Aditya.
Dvantam Bhantam Aditya.
Om. We bow down to that existence appearing as variations of experiences and information. Rest your hands and humbly raise your head up and open your eyes. All right. Let's come to a standing position. Today we will look at some fluidity in the groin region, okay, and how that can assist in static asanas later on. So stand at the top front of your mat. Again, when we arrive into a standing position, we're not going to freeze the body or enter a frozen state of musculature, but just allow the body to be fluid. So to invite that fluidity, take a few who breaths. And as we continue with the whole breath, let's have a small, tiny flexion in your knees, softness in the knees. And then imagine you are standing in a bus and the road is filled with potholes. It's a bumpy ride. So slowly begin to be centered in your heels and start shaking the body from the heels. Small, small bounces. Just freely shake your body. And some parts of your body, it may respond, and some parts of your body may not respond. You can increase the velocity of the movements. Notice if you're hardening your neck, you can move your neck slightly, allow the neck to move. If it does move because of the movement, who breathe. And slowly now, that's it, fading the shaking sensation. And be centered into your hips by pressing down into your heels. And be centered in your hips. We start with the arm pattern. The next in-breath, let's raise your shoulders up. And the next out-breath, you turn your palms out to the sides and bring your hands down. Continue. 2 more cycles. So the first 20 minutes of the inquiry template, or this template, is always in relation to the back line and the front line of the physical body. So we're waking up, hydrating the fascia, superficial back line and front line. Right. Now rest your arms. When it reaches down, posteriorly tilts the pelvis. Invite your head to nod where both ends of your spine is rounded. Breathe into the back of your neck. As you breathe out, round your spine to the front. So you're lengthening the back line, you're shortening or condensing or strengthening the front line. That's it. Now, since the back of the body is wider, can you breathe into the back? Now let's connect the pubis to your navel and gradually unroll the spine to come up. And take a few whole breaths here. What is the present body feeling like? Right. Let's go now into the dynamic pendulum. Raise your shoulders up. Alternately cross the arms in front. Take the hips back so your knees are not leading. The hip is dominant. One more cycle. And we raise the shoulders up towards your ears in the next attempt. When you breathe out, you can bring your hands down. As your arms reaches down, let's again posteriorly tilt the pelvis, nod your head down. So again, both ends of the spine is rounded. Now here, breathe into the back of your neck. And as you breathe out, round your spine to the front. And notice also, because previously you had food and how that is affecting the posture. So we are not going beyond the situational requirement. Try to breathe into the lower back, where the fascia in that area is the most thickest part, lower back. Connect the pubis to your navel and slowly unroll the spine as we come up. Who breathe. Now, dynamic pendulum. Bounce, bounce. One more cycle. And then we lift the shoulders up towards your ears and bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Now we begin to explore the side line. Now, lowering your right shoulder, raising the left shoulder. So let the right side of the body condense. And then from there, side bend. Now, sustaining the side bend, lightly press the right heel down to assist. Lift the right shoulder up towards your ears. Now, breathe into the right side of your body. From there, raise the right arm up and let's side bend to the opposite side. As the right shoulder comes down, let's lift the left shoulder up, condensing and side bending. Now, sustaining this position, press the left heel down, raise the left shoulder up towards your ears as if you're trying to use your left arm to reach towards me, the camera. Now, breathe into the left side of the body and feel how the breath can assist you to expand. The breath also has the capacity to assist in expanding and contracting the body. Now, bring the left arm down. Let's once again side bend to the opposite side. Explore side bending on the right side. Continue. Continue side bend on the other side. Now, once again, let's go back to your left side bend. And let's add some movement there. So sustain, because our interest here today is in lateral flexions. So let's go into a rotation. Turn the chest. Rotation, relax the left shoulder. And derotation. Turn the chest up. Back to the side bend. Again, rotation. Turn your chest to face down. Look down and derotation. Two more cycles in your own pace. Now raise your right arm to come up, and we go to the right side bend. Now from right side bend, we go to dynamic movement, rotation. Now use your left hand to reach towards me and press the left heel down. And derotation. One more. Rotation. Press the left heel down. Lift the left shoulder away from the hips. Reach with your hands towards me. And derotation. Continue 2 more cycles. Completed 2 cycles. Raise the left arm, come back. Just counter side bend. Just a mini side bend to the left and come back to the center. Oh, breathe. Now notice the present body. Because in the present body, a lot of your shoulder, side body, and arms would be in your presence, in your conscience, in your feeling. Dynamic pendulum. And bounce, bounce, lift. In the next attempt, you can launch your heels up to the floating Tadasana and slowly come down to floating Utkatasana. From floating Utkatasana, come further down into floating Malasana with your arms over your head. Disconnect your palms. Bring your hands down. Shift the weight of the body into your hands and raise your hips up. Uttanasana. Release the back of your head down. Now we go into the back of your legs and of course the front by flexing at your hips, knees, and ankles, the 3 joints. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. You can drop your arms from your shoulders. Flex and extend. Try to keep your mind in the hips so you sustain that dominant movement in the hips. One more cycle. Good. Now keep your knees bent and then shift the weight of your body into your hands. Step back into Adho Mukha Shivanasana. Now push your hands away from your legs. Notice how that feels. Release the back of your head down and lightly push your thighs back as if you're reaching down towards your heels. Of course, again, here we're not trying to freeze the body. We're not trying to tighten the body. We are allowing the body to adapt, to fit in any shape that it could possibly, potentially be. From here, raise your heels up, high plank through the wave, big wave. Lightly bend your knees just a little bit, push back into downward dog and straighten your legs. Release the head down. Let's try that again. Raise the heels up, tuck your tailbone, high plank from big wave. Continue. Push back, downward dog. Release the back of your head down. Continue. 2 more cycles in your own pace. Shifting the load from the legs into the hands, contracting the pectoral, now pushing the load from the hands into the legs. 1 more cycle. Try to explore coming into the tip of your toes. So you're shifting the weight quite a bit to the front and push back. The next attempt, from the high plank, go to your child's pose. Point your toes back, release the back of your head down. Breathe. In the next exhalation, press your shin bones, raise your hips to come up, round your back. Raise your sitting bones up, and from there, the extension starts to travel into the lower back, mid-back, and slowly fades into the neck. Continue. Back into your hips. Release the back of your head down. Press the shin bone. Come up. Your concern here again is with the back and the front line. One more cycle. And we stay the next attempt in the cat pose. Shift the weight of your body to the left side, leg and hand. Slide the right leg back. And then slide the right leg towards me in line with your left knee, your Parigasana. Good. Now externally rotate the right leg and bring the right heel underneath the right knee. So you have your Virabhadrasana 2 legs. Yeah, that's it. Good. Hands on the floor comfortably. Hanji, you want to say something?
No, I'm good. Yes.
Okay. Now, in this position, we're going to explore. Move the hip back and forward. And forward. Good. Allow that right leg to move freely. Back and forward. Good. One more cycle. Now you move your hip to the right into the right heel, and then back over the left knee. Continue. One more cycle. And come back to the center. Now, circular motion. Go into your hands, forward, go forward, and then to the right. You make circular movement to the right, back, and center. Good. Circular movement in the same direction. But try not to fix. You can explore smaller circles to bigger circles, or bigger circles to smaller circles. What is essential is you know what you're doing. To a certain extent, of course. Circular movements. Let's try now the opposite direction. Yes, using your hips and shoulders freely. One more cycle. And this time when your hip goes back, stay there with your hips back. Raise your arms and come up. Bring your arms in line with the shoulders. So just the arm. I think that cupboard is there. Might be difficult, challenging to move you. Yes. So just the arm pattern, and then hip, and then we do both together. So just the pendulum. So you drop the left arm from the left side over the median line to the right side, left to right, and then take it over your head and side bend, just the upper torso. Good, that's it. Pendulum. Yes. And over your head. Good. Continue. The bottom part, your legs are fairly stable, but of course adapting to the movement above. One more cycle. And come back. Now just the hip alone. Move your hips to the right and back to the center. Going into your groins. Opening your groins, contracting the buttocks, and releasing. Continue. And come back to the center. Now let's put both the movements together. The pendulum and arms over your head. Bring your right hand down on your right knee. That's it. And continue. Pendulum and arms over the head. Side bend. Continue. Side bend. Good. One more cycle. We stay in the side bend, Parigasana. Let's breathe into the next attempt. All right. Let's stay there. Squeeze the right side of your body. Let the right side of the body tighten, condense, and automatically the left side will start expanding. Great. From here, raise the right heel up. Turn the right leg inwards and cross your arms. So internally, you're rotating. Yeah, correct. Plantar flex the right leg and turn. Turn the right knee to the left knee and cross your arms in front.
Okay.
Correct. You're right. Take your hips back. Yes. And bring your right knee closer to the left knee. And lift up. Come back to the aeroplane position, Parigasana. That's it. Let's try that again. Lift the right heel up. Cross the arms underneath this way, not above. It'll come underneath this way. Yes. Good. And press the shin bones, lift up. Now, when you lift, you open the arms this way. Lift the right heel up and cross. Yes, take your hips back. Press the shin bone. When you come up, raise your arms, correct. And bring your arms in line. 2 more cycles. Round your back, Yuva, and take your head down. And now extend your spine. Take your arms out. Notice the opposite action. Round your back. The opposite of what you did previously. So everything is condensing in the front. Arms are closed. Now the opposite of that, expand the front and condense the back. Good. Now let's put all 3 movements together. The hip movement, the pendulum, the hip movement, and this movement. Okay? Let's go. Left hand pendulum, pendulum, parigasana, pendulum to parigasana.
Yeah, so left hand pendulum.
And then parigasana. From there, take your arms down, cross the arms, and turn the legs in. Yes, round your back. Open your arms. Go pendulum, parigasana. Parigasana you're missing.
Oh, yeah.
Pendulum, parigasana, and cross the arms. Round your back, drop the head. Lift, sprint out of it like a spring, and go. Pendulum, parigasana, and round your back. Good. 2 more cycles in your own rhythm. So you're creating a memory pattern. Good. And from there, come back to Parigasana. Take your hips back, bring your arms down. Yeah, no, your arms are there. Raise your arms up above your head, and then take your hips back. And then bring the arms down, correct. Yes, go back. And now slide the right leg back.
Yeah, so we're going back to the...
Yeah, you're going back into downward facing dog. We have finished the exploration on the right side.
So from here?
Yes, tuck your toes, raise your knee.
And then bring it back.
Yes, bring it back. You slide. Yes, that's it. From there, tuck your toes. Lift your knees up. Downward facing dog. Come out of your left knee. Release the back of your head down as you raise your hips up. Good. From here, raise your heels up. Double bend your knees. Bend, bend, and extend. Let the head bounce. One more cycle. And then let's step the legs forward as wide as your hips. Externally rotate the arms. Allow your head to hang from your spine. How does that feel? Allow the arms to hang from your shoulders. And how does that feel? Connect the pubis to your navel. And slowly unroll the spine to come up. Oh, breathe. And notice how it feels to meet this body. Let's continue dynamic pendulum. In the next attempt, you can raise the heels up, coming down to Utkatasana, palms in front, and then descending to Malasana. Disconnect your hands. Shift the weight into your palms. Raise your hips up through your arms. Go back into your heels. And slide your hands back. Again, flex and extend the hips, knees, and ankles. One more cycle. Now keep your knees bent, shift the weight into your arms, and then step back. To step back, you need to move forward to step back. Yes, you can highlight that. Release the back of your head down. Now raise your heels up, tuck your tailbone, high plank. The wave-like movement. Bend the knees and push back. Release the head down. 3 more cycles. When you push back to downward dog, allow your elbows to bend. Yes, correct. Allow your elbows to bend. Great. 2 more cycles. The next attempt, we can go to from high plank to the child's pose. A few cycles of the reoccurring pattern. Come to the cat pose. To the galloping cow. Two more cycles. Now we stay in the cat pose consciously. Shift the weight to the right leg, extend the left leg back and the left leg out to the side. Now look and externally rotate the left leg so that the left heel is underneath the left knee, like you have your warrior 1, 2 position, I think. Now, from this position, let's explore moving the hips back, head down, and forward. Again, back and forward. Two more cycles. Now let's move your hips to the left and back to the center, as far as your body permits. One more cycle. Now from there, move forward, side, to the center, back. Yes. Circular movement. Yes, allow the elbows to bend. Explore. Release the head down and even lifting the head up, just however it feels. Start going now in the opposite direction. One more cycle. And the next time your hip goes back, stay back, raise your hands and come up. And arms out to the side. There you go. Just the pendulum movement here. Just the arms and side bends. Continue. Pendulum, arm, and side bend. Right. Now, just the hip movement. Hip to the left, into the groins, and out of the groins. Full potential. Now both movements together, hip and the arms. Bounce, bounce, side bend. Continue. Bounce, bounce, side bend. Bounce, bounce, side bend. One more cycle. And we stay in the side bend. Breathe into the right side of the body. Good. Now lift the left heel up. Internally rotate the left leg. Cross the arms. Come into a kneeling Garudasana. Turn. That's it. Kneeling. Round your arms, lift, open your arms and come out. Out to the sides, good. Once again, kneeling Garudasana. Round your back, hip goes back, head comes down. Open your arms into the half Parigasana. One more cycle. Shift the weight to the right and come up. Now all three movements together. Pendulum, hip, side, bend, lift, and cross. Go. Open the arms. Pendulum. Hips, side bend, cross. Continue. Two more cycles. Right. Completed two cycles. Take your hips back. Raise your arms over your head. Take your hips back and bring your arms down. Slide your left leg back. And tuck your toes. Raise your hips up, downward facing dog. Release the back of your head down. Invite a few who breaths here. Meet a more centered body, propped by your legs and arms. Now, static to dynamic, raise your heels up, double bounce. Bounce, bounce, and extend. Bounce, bounce, and extend. One more cycle. Right, and from there, step your legs forward as wide as your hips. Release the back of your head down. Breathe. Relax your arms. Also could mean that you hang your arms. And give that responsibility to the spine and the hips to hold your arms in itself. Hang the skull, the bone of your skull, let it hang in the skin of your head. Then connect the pubis to your navel. Unroll the spine to gradually come up. Keep the head down as you come up. Breathe. And meet this present body. From there, let's posteriorly tilt the pelvis, nod your head down, again go back down into the ragdoll. We're doing the recovery patterns. From here, bend your knees. And as you're rounding, go further down into Malasana. From Malasana, walk your hands back to a seated position. From seated to supine. Keep your knees bent. Yeah. Nice. Hold your legs. Good. And Come to a supine position. Take your arms on either sides of your shoulders, placing them. How that feels now to be on the floor, rested arms.
I'm sorry.
Anji.
This phone is ringing. I'll just keep it in silent.
So concluding, let's do a little spinal extension here to conclude. So arms in line with the shoulders. Walk your heels towards your sitting bones. Right. Press down through your heels. Let's lift or peel the spine off the floor into Setu Bandha, shoulder bridge. Raise your arms up towards your ceiling. And then bring your arms by the side of your ears. Rest your arms. Take a whole breath there just to signal rest, fullness of the arms. From there, let's come down through the shoulder blade first. Stay there for some time. Notice how it feels for the mid back and lower back to float in space. And then come down through your mid back. Notice how the lower back, how it floats in space. The hip is floating in space, in fluids. And then come fully down. So again, bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Press down through your heels and peel the spine off the floor. Raise your arms up to the ceiling. And bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Coming down through your shoulder blades, mid back, and lower back in your own pace. Notice if naturally there's a invitation for your body, from your body, coming into your mind to rest. From there, extend one leg at a time away from your hips. Arms on either sides of your torso. Notice how the body is feeling when it meets the floor in this position. And the body is continuously having that feeling. It is the mind that fluctuates, that drifts. If you can stay with the body, that could be your pathway or a window into your larger existence. And remain calm and quiet for some time. begin to sense the presence of your body above the floor or in this room space. Gently move your toes and fingers. Bring your feet towards each other, your legs and arms above your head. Elongate the legs and arms away from the midsection of your body and relax. Bend your knees, roll to your preferred side, mindfully. Meditative movements as you come to a seated position. Vande Guru Ramana Rishi.
Vande Guru Ramana Rishi.
Acharyasya Padabjam.
Acharyasya Padabjam.
Yo me darshayadisham.
Yo me darshanam sham.
Antam Dvantam Aditya.
Antam Dvantam Aditya.
Om.
Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you for
So,
the beautiful class, the session. Thank you for the beautiful session.
you're welcome. I didn't have mercy on you. I went full on with the full stomach you had.
No, I think I should show some gratitude to my body also. I thought I'll struggle today. So, but I managed